Hey everybody, welcome to the Tuesday night edition of Live with Capital Advantage Tutoring, asking questions on any FINRA exam. It's a 0. Do I get to go home early today? Do I have nobody on here? Nobody cares? Everyone's passed? Or just because I started it so late that nobody's part of it? Armana, how are you? Just got your text, I didn't answer. Ruben, how are you? Couple quick things to clean up. Okay. If you want to buy some achievable stuff, if you want to buy stuff, hit my link. You can buy STC, get a discount. You can also go. I put up near top the Kindle Unlimited, which is kind of cool. If you do, you get a 30-day free trial. I'm not being sponsored by them, but I get 8 cents for everyone that signs up. Woo! If you do the Kindle Unlimited, you get a 30-day free trial for the Kindle Unlimited. You can borrow as many books as you want. And there are some Series 7 books on there, which you can get a free trial to, because Kindle Unlimited gives you as many books as you want. So click on that. That's all good stuff. Now, couple things. I tutor. I do this stuff. I'm busy all day doing stuff tutoring. If you need tutors and I'm too expensive and you don't want to do it, there's 2 other places you can go. You can go reach out to Michael Weiss at series7examtutor.com. I will start putting a link in here. I'm going to put a link in there. And then you got Brandon Rith at Basic Wisdom. Go check him out on YouTube. Pretty good stuff. So Michael Weiss on series7examtutor.com. He's a little cheaper than me. He's solid stuff. He's really strong with the 65 stuff. Really strong with that stuff. He was a CFA. Yeah, Nilu, you got to get some sleep. You're big day tomorrow. Everyone, prayers for Nilu. She's going to rock this thing tomorrow. Okay. Again, Michael Weiss, you got Brandon Rith, who I don't know if he's still tutoring. He's mostly writing the book, which is the achievable stuff, which is phenomenal. If you need some videos, you can go check out Brian Lee's Test Geek exam. Okay. And if you want tutoring from the best in the world, just reach out to me at series7exam.org. I will start hitting up on this stuff. So now you guys got this. Again, check out the links. You can get Kindle Unlimited free for 30 days. Or you can go to Achievable and get their books, and I have the STC, the discount. Okay. Off of my little rant and stuff like that. So good week, bad week. We had some good stuff going on. We got this going on. Okay, so now let's get on. Sarah, how are you? Sarah, you texted me in a question. I am going to hit it. Guys, I did the membership thing. I did it one today. Ryan was the only one on there. I did it Monday. Nilu was the only one on there. So she basically got an hour of one-on-one lessons, and it's $25 a month. So every Monday I do a lesson. Some people missed it. I know 1 or 2 people missed it, but the one time I had 5 people on it, and you saw the video, what it looks like when I published it. But then I did it Monday. Only 1 person showed up. That doesn't mean it's always going to be the case, but not bad. Okay, let's go through this. I'm going to answer yours in a second, Sarah. I'm going to make you wait online a little bit. Armana, how are you? Ruben, how are you? Ginger, John, how are you? Ruben, by the way, you're never finished reading the 66 book, right? You're always going on. Trevor, how are you? Ginger, Trevor. Look at that. What we got some new. Trevor, I think he took the test. Okay. The 66 is hard. Josh, how are you? The 66 is definitely hard. Georgiana, how are you? We are definitely, the 66 is the one test where it's just like, yeah, I think we got it, but then you get some questions that just get in your head. Like the 7, there's more mathy stuff. And John, I don't think you saw a lot of math on this test, right? It was a lot of just crazy stuff. Okay. Eric, that's awesome. I love it. Okay. 2 things. Efficient market hypothesis. Discounted cash flow. Absolutely. Okay. So, couple things. I'm doing the middle of video now, which is a little rant on why you won't pass the Series 7. And I'm following it up with a resources video. I am doing a video. Oh, okay. Got it. So, I'm sorry. You know what? If nobody else signs up, I can probably. Could you do 4 p.m.? It's every Monday. You know what? I think what I'll do is I'll move it to if I move it to 4 o'clock Eastern, will that help? Okay. Yeah, Armana, that's what I was going to tell you. John didn't miss it because he had church, and he can't miss that. Chad didn't see Chad didn't see the invite I sent him through LinkedIn until today. He goes, "Oh my God, I missed it." And then Irene was going to do it next week. She couldn't do it. If you guys do it again, they'd love to join. Okay. It sounds like you and Ginger and Armana had a good time. I think Jacob runs a study group. So guys, if you're just on here, what we're talking about is that there's a couple study groups going on for the 66, Armana and yeah, but now you've seen it, right? So you know what it looks like. You went up a little bit from the last time. You're going to nail it next time. Okay. Yeah, Alex, I'm not a fan of AD Banker. I'm going to do resources. I'm in the middle of finishing the one rant video, a lot of cursing, so make sure you have the earphones in. Okay. But then I'm going to this is just my top 10 things you need to know for the 7. Not topics so much, but things that'll help you understand. And I'm doing a resources, like stuff you need, like, free resources between me and the tutors and YouTube and stuff like that, showing you where to get them. I'm going to try to put links in there also. Okay. Now, Sarah asked a question. Okay. Right. So I know, again, and Amana, I appreciate you inviting him in on Saturday. I just think, not everyone's looking at their stuff. Okay. Right. Now, again, I am not, okay, Alex, I'm going to say, if you can, Alex, just do the achievable. It's $79 for the SIE. I'm telling you, Alex, you can do Kappa, and that's fine. For the SIE, okay? Yeah, I'll do overbought. Okay. Alex, if you're going to do it, go do the hit. Even if you don't go through me, go find Achievable on your own. Even if it's not through my link, go buy them. I'm telling you, for $79 for the SIE, they're out of this fucking world. They're great. A lot of people use them and they like them, and they're even good for the 7 now. I wasn't sure in the beginning, and now they're doing it. But Brandon's great, and he knows his stuff. So seriously, Alex, save your money. If you're going to buy it on your own, don't do Kaplan, do the Achievable. Everything's online. They have good videos and they have everything. Okay. So let me keep going. Let me find some. Oh, that's from the Kaplan book. Right. So let me hit Sarah's question first. Where are you? Boom, boom, boom. There it is. Okay. So this is from the Kaplan book, and I'm going to explain it. So it's talking about 401ks with payroll deduction. So you might think of a 401k plan as a payroll deduction plan. For the FINRA exam, 401ks are considered salary reduction. And you're like, what the hell? Okay. Not payroll deduction. In the exam questions, assume payroll deduction plans are non-qualified. So what they're saying here is that for this test, yes, they both come out of your paycheck. But if you see the word payroll deduction, I want you to think non-qualified, which means it comes in after tax. It's not for everyone. It doesn't have to follow ERISA rules. It's after tax contributions. That's the way I want you to think of it when they say payroll deduction. When they say 401k, that's a qualified plan, which means you have to offer to everyone who works there pretty much full time. And they're changing the rules to some part time for 500 hours, but I don't think that's testable yet. So for the most part, 401k is a qualified plan, which means it comes out pre-tax. The money goes in and they can match and all that. Payroll deduction is more of a non-qualified plan, which they can offer just to the higher end people, where they take money out of their paycheck after tax, which is non-qualified. That's what they mean by that, because it's test world and real world. Okay. Megan, that's awesome. I love that. Okay. Yeah, they'll do. So the 6 they're not doing, but the SIE and the 63 they do. The 6 you can probably get away with AD Banker or by STC. Okay. That helps, Sarah? Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, 7580s. Okay, Ginger, right. So you asked about Securities Institute of America. Okay. I think as a supplement, they're good. Again, Megan, everyone's happy with Megan. Trevor, didn't you pass? I thought. Okay. Can I go over combo options? I will the combo spreads. I will do that. Okay. So let me work my way from the top because I'm jumping out of the way. So okay, before I say that, Ginger, yeah, they're a good supplement. I think they're fine. I don't think on their own that's an awesome for the 66, but I do think they have enough information. And Jeff, the guy who writes his name is Jeff. He's a good guy. He knows his stuff, and he has hard questions. So they will challenge you. Those questions will really challenge you. So even if you just use it for the question bank, I don't have a problem with them. Okay. Now, Nilu better be off and going to bed. Okay, futures questions. I have a little video on futures under the series 3. Okay. Okay, JW, let me get into that one. So you work in healthcare, wanted to get a financial field. Okay. How much would the help if I get the SIE? It'll just, if you get the SIE in the series 63, which you can do on your own, it'll look better on your resume. Will it get you a job? I don't know. But one thing, it'll tell them that you can pass the test, and that if you can get the SIE and the 63 done, then if you're going to work with a broker dealer, then you only need to take one more test, which is a 7, which they have to sponsor you for. But yeah, JW, I don't know that it's going to hurt you. It won't hurt you. If you have 3 people applying and one has the SIE and the 63 out of the way, and the other 2 don't, guess who they're going with? They're probably going with the one who has it. Okay. Hope that helps, JW. Yeah, I try to tell everyone the 66. It's one of the ones where you feel like you're doing better than you are, and it is about theory. It is absolutely about theory. It's much less about the math. Okay. Again, Eric, congratulations. I am so happy that you did that. Okay. Study for the best way to study for the. So, Eric, I'm confused about your path. Okay. First of all, Sarah, I'm going to try to move the Monday meeting to 4 p.m. I'll see if Ryan's okay with that, and it should be good. Okay. So it'll be on Mondays. I'm going to try to do 4 p.m. Eastern. That may work. Okay. So now, Eric, my thing is, are you going to take the 63 and the 65 separately? Because you have the SIE. Usually people who just take the 65 don't need all the other things. They don't need the 7 of the SIE. They're going to work for an investment advisor. But if you're getting the 65, you're probably going to have to get the 63. So you could probably get the 66. Does that make sense to you in a way? So if you are, let's go with this. So you're going to study for these exams. First thing you do, read the damn book. Read the book. Get through the book one time. And I talk about this all the time. Get through the book one time just to get through it. Then go back and start reading it again and go through chapter quizzes and stuff like that. And then take a chapter quiz. If you get below a 75, read the chapter again. If you get above a 75, move on. That's the best way to do it. You can do any of the bit. You can do STC, Kaplan, Past Perfect. Past Perfect is a little tough. Like I said, when I do my resources video, I'm going to talk about every vendor and all that crap. Okay. And then I'm going to have that resources video up by Friday at the latest. The video I'm working on now, it's a little bit of a rant about the 7. I have a top 10 list of things you need to know, not material, things you need to still pass. But again, a lot of cursing. I actually have had to beat myself out because it was really bad. Okay. But I always heard that cursing is a sign of intelligence, so I must be a fucking genius. Okay. Ruben, those are great scores, okay? No, Ruben, those are fine scores. It's not about memorization. You're going to be fine. Don't, again, everyone always wants to worry about what other people think. Don't. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. Okay. Okay. Right. And what my point is, Ruben's not taking it tomorrow. He's taking it in a few weeks. So it's not, he can build on that. Okay. Okay. Good. Go back and forth. Okay. Go, Ruben, right. Go back and forth between STC and Kaplan. I like that. Okay. Do I do practice for the 65? Again, most of the stuff I do for the 66. So if you go to my playlist for the 66, that would probably help you for the 65. But again, Eric, I want to know what your path is. Oh, maybe you answered already, but I do want to know your path on this. Okay. I'm working my way down. Okay. Megan, again, I am so happy for you. That is great. I love it. So you have one left, the 63, I hope, right? Okay. Okay. So can I go over a combo option? Okay. Again, I do options in the membership thing, which is cheap, $9, but I'll do some of this. Now, do we know what a straddle is? I think we know what a straddle is, right? It's buy a call or buy a put, same strike, same month, same everything, right? So if I have a straddle, I bought a 50 call at 4 and I bought a 50 put at 3. So since I bought both, I'm going to add I'm going to add the 2 premiums, and that's 7. Okay, so that's $7 total premium. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to the call and subtract that from the put. So I should have 57 and 43 is my break evens. Since it's long, I want to go outside. That's easy. That's the straddle stuff. A combo, the only difference with a combo is that the strikes are different or the months are different. So instead of having a 50 call and 50 put, I buy a 55 call at 5 and I buy a 50 put at 3. Still $8. Then I add 8 to the 55. So it's 63 is my upper break even. And then I subtract 8, so 42 is my lower one. I still want it to go outside, but the thing is now it can expire worthless between 50 and 55. So it's a bigger range of losing money, but it also costs me less. So a combo really is just a straddle with different strikes. You treat it the same way. Break even, just add to the call and subtract on the put. And that's why I always put call on top and put on bottom. It's just the way my fucked up mind thinks. Okay. Yeah, I'm telling you, hardly any math. Okay. Okay. Boom. Okay. I'm trying to catch up. I think I got that. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Seasoned. That's awesome. Well, you finally come on. I love it. I love hearing it. Seasoned degenerates. That's awesome. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Seasoned degenerates. Okay, that's an idiot. Luckily I caught myself after I said it. That's awesome. Congratulations, my man. I love that. I wonder if I can have timestamps on so people can. Yeah, I like seeing what time people say. Okay. Yeah. Probably 10 minutes ago. Right? I don't even. Oh, yeah. Okay. So 7 minutes ago. Seasoned. That's awesome. How was it? I'm so happy you passed. What's left? A 63 or 66? Oh, Caleb, my man. Look at that. Caleb, who's a big star on this. When I get the merch going, I'll have to send him something. Pass the 66. It's awesome. How was it, Caleb? I know I'm 7 minutes behind. I'm so happy for you. You're done. Done, done, done. Okay. Okay, the best question bank. Okay. Yeah, you know what, Caleb? You should get on a call if you can, if it's not too much. Get on a call with Armana, Ginger, and John and Ruben and Chad if he ever comes on. And just give him a little feedback. Not you don't want to give questions, but maybe you want to give him a little insight on what you saw. I'm so happy for you, Caleb. You're such a positive guy, and now you can move on with your life. Now the hard part starts. So the best question bank for the 7 is, let's not say best. It's either if you have STC, you can buy their questions. Kaplan has a lot, but here's the kicker. Achievable, and I sound like a shill for them, but I'm not. They have like almost 4,000 questions. They do. Here's the thing. So I think STC is in the middle. I think Achievable is in the middle. Kaplan and Past Perfect, you can buy their questions. I think both of them go a little too deep into the weeds, okay? They kind of focus on like the more mathy stuff and the complicated twists and turns. Like I had a kid who just took it Monday and passed, and he was taking Kaplan, and he was like low 70s, and he couldn't get really over that. And he's freaking out because he's like, what's on the third page of this? Or how many days, it's so many detailed, nitty gritty questions that he was really, really freaking out. And he goes, the test was much easier than the Kaplan. So in that way, it's good. But then what happens is you're focusing on some of the wrong stuff. Don't get me wrong. If you have Kaplan, you're going to rock it. Okay. But I'm saying if you're going to buy one, I'm not so sure that would be my first choice. Just because I'll do the whole resource thing. I'll definitely do it out because it's frustrating not to say everything. But yes, they have the biggest word bank and you can customize. I love them that way. But their questions are sometimes a little too deep. I wish STC and the other places had a breakdown. I know Achievable does that. After each test, you can see where you're weak. STC sort of does it, but what the problem is, and again, I like STC, but the problem is when you take a bunch of tests, say you were bad in offerings 3 weeks ago. If you did really bad on that, even though you're doing better now, it's still going to show as a weak section. So it's a little harder to figure shit out. If you really just want to take a lot of questions over and over, either do the Achievable program or buy Kaplan. I'm totally okay with that. Okay. 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 Andrew. Okay. Good. I love that because I think I sent you that on the email, the risk thing. I hope make sure if you have STC, make sure you get down chapters 2 and 14 through 20. Make sure you own that. Make sure you know the risks. Make sure that the other stuff. So Ruben, what do you want me to explain? I don't know what it was. Okay. Okay. Oh, Alex, here's the thing. I already have one on vendors out. I do. But I'm working on the one with just the top 10 list of stuff. And then either tonight or tomorrow, I'm working on resources, all the different resources for the SIE and the 7. And they're kind of interchangeable. I think that works. Okay. I hope to have it up by Thursday or Friday. Okay, John, how long would it really realistically take to pass? Okay, Jacob, I'll do that. Okay, so they're two different things. Okay. How long would it take to realistically pass to 63, 65? Look, if you miss the 66 by a few, there's no reason you couldn't take the 63 by Monday or Tuesday from now. I mean, now if you go hard, John, reach out to me. Maybe I can, since we've been working together, I could probably get you the book somehow. And just take questions, okay? Take questions, read the book, take questions, go over the playlist. You could probably take the 63 by Monday. And then like 2 weeks later for the 65. I think that works. I think so. You're talking 2.5 weeks to be done instead of waiting the whole 30 days for the 66. And like I said, you take them, and God forbid you miss one. Well, you have been studying, and boom, you can go right into the 66 and take it. Okay. Now, Jacob has a question. Secured versus term, two different things. So I'm going to do secured versus unsecured, and then I'll do term bonds, okay? So secured bonds are backed by something. They'll call it a mortgage bond. Not mortgage-backed, mortgage bond. A mortgage bond is a bond so a secured bond is a bond that has something backing it. In case I default, the trustee will sell that to pay off the bondholders. So a mortgage bond has property. So if I issue a bond, maybe I'll use my property as collateral, and if I fail to pay, the trustee will sell my property to pay the debt holders. Equipment bond, that's the most liquid. Equipment bond, I have, let's say I'm a trucking company, all my planes, trains, automobiles, stuff like that. Actual equipment, tractors. If I fail to make a payment or a default, they'll sell the tractors and shit to pay you. The third one is a collateral bond. A collateral bond, okay. Josh, it's okay. Collateral bond is like if you have a portfolio of other company securities. It would be really stupid to have your own because that doesn't work. And even if you could do it, imagine that you go bad. If you default, the stocks are going down because it's your company. It doesn't work. So if it's stocks and bonds of another company. So what happens is if you fail, they will sell the portfolio to pay off the bondholders. That's a secured bond. What's an unsecured bond? Full faith and credit. It's called a debenture. An unsecured corporate bond is called a debenture. I just promised to pay you. And if I have a really low credit rating, that's kind of hard to do. But like a GE, a Johnson & Johnson, well, not GE so much, but Johnson & Johnson, ExxonMobil, they could do debentures because they have such a great credit rating that they could probably issue it with a low rate. So debentures are unsecured, which means if you don't, and then there's subordinated debentures, which are after the regular debentures, but still before preferred. But they don't have, they have nothing backing them. If the company goes out of business, you just get in line with the rest of the other general creditors. Term bonds. Term bonds have an issue date, one maturity date. It's a coupon bond, a dollar bond. You can see it's quoted like 108, 104, 98, something like that. And it has a coupon, and that's the way it goes. Now, the other type is called the serial bond. A serial bond is a bond with one issue date and multiple maturity dates. What the hell does that mean, Ken? So if you issue a bond today, I'm going to have like some of it mature in 10 years, some of it in 12, some of it in 15, some of it in 20, some of it in 25 and 30. So it's all going to be, it's one issue date where I get the money, but then I pay off different parts of it over the different years. Okay. Now that's term versus serial, secured versus unsecured. I hope that helped, Jacob. Okay. Okay. Josh, you're solid on that. Okay. I think so. Josh, you're good. Just keep taking tests. Make sure you know the difference between broker dealer and agent. Make sure you go over my video on that. Know that a broker dealer is a firm, an agent is an individual, an IA is a firm, an IAR. Look for that. Look for, if you see them talking about broker dealers and stuff, look for whether it says a person or an individual or an entity, whatever it is. Look for that. You got to go out and boom. And look, 63 is about timing sometimes. So if you're getting 80, 85s on the green lights, you're going to be fine, Josh. Seriously. Don't worry about this. Okay. Okay. Riley. Okay. Okay. John, did you read, John? I want you to read this. Look what Caleb's saying. Reading the stuff in the back. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Pest Perfect is good. They're just deep. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up. Okay, hold on. So John and Ruben and Armana, Caleb just put his email out. Okay, on there. Scroll back to 8:51 and you should see it. Okay. And before I bump out, I'm probably going to delete it. But it's Caleb put his email out for Armana, for John, for Ruben. People taking the 66. Okay. I want to catch up. Okay. Okay, hold on. Oh, I'm way behind. Okay, Riley. So Riley Derwich. So you're taking the test on the 24th. You got lots of time. You're doing the SIE, the Kaplan stuff. I like it. Okay. You're scoring 80s. Make sure you own the risks, like investment risk, interest rate risk, reinvestment risk, all that stuff. If you have time, go through my SIE book playlist, walk through it, and anything that you feel uncomfortable about, come on Thursday and next Tuesday and just ask questions on it. The best thing you do is make sure you get the risks and make sure you get like the FINRA rules down, customer accounts, stuff like that. Anti-money laundering, that's big, okay? But the risks are going to do a lot. Make sure you know the different products. Somebody on the SIE got a tax equivalent yield question, which is crazy. I have a video on it, so if you can find it. I am so surprised it's on that exam. But there's not going to be a lot of math, maybe some break-even questions or max gain, max loss on options, maybe a stock split, obviously maybe a tax equivalent yield. That's about it. Okay, so now. Caleb, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, Caleb is a rock star. Fucking nailed all the tests. It's great. Okay. Okay, Lacey. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about test world versus real world. Okay, so Lacey Blue is asking about custody. So custody for this series 63, 65, 66, yes, is physical custody of securities. But it's not just that. It's having control of the securities. So if everything's in street name. So if it's not really the same. But if I hold on to your money, or I have your securities, say that, or I have full discretion, right? It's not just physical holding it. It's more about having control of it. Like, can I sell them? Can I move them? Are they held in my fake vault? Are they kind of like your bank? You have put money in the bank, and you say you have $100,000 sitting in your bank account. That doesn't mean there's $100,000 in cash sitting there. It's probably not there, but they do have custody of it. They're owning your cash, so they owe it to you. So I want you to think of it that way. But the other part is if you get a check that's sent to someone else and they don't forward it within 3 days, that's considered custody because you're holding on to their cash. If you accept prepaid fees 6 months in advance of more than $500 on the state level or $1,200 on the federal level, you're considered to have custody. The books don't say, they say, oh, it's not really custody, but the test I took absolutely made it clear that was fucking custody. Okay, so and that's by NASA. So don't worry about that. Now, so custody is just having control. If you have full discretion, you have custody. Why? Because you can steal their goddamn money. That's the fear. That's the fear that they want to make sure that if you're controlling their account or their assets, that you're held to a higher standard. What do you have to do if you have custody? You have to submit your financials to the administrator. You have to let people know. You have to get an annual audit by a CPA or an auditing firm, not the administrator. You have to send quarterly statements to your customers telling them where the securities are. You have to put up either a surety bond or have a net worth of more than 35 grand, okay? And you have to disclose it in your ADV Part 2 and Part 1. So those are things. Custody it's not just like I have custody of my kids, right? It's the fact that you have control of their assets or securities. Again, it doesn't mean that you're holding it. It just means that you have control of it. Hope that helps, Lacey. Okay. Yeah, and that's the other thing. See, that's the other thing. Since the big companies like Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, UBS, Goldman, UBS, they kind of mix everything between broker-dealer, bank, and IA. So you can't use that. Whenever you think of these tests, think of a little shop like an IA, like where there's 10 people there and they're managing money and they're not a broker-dealer. Or if there's a broker-dealer, think of like Robinhood or E-Trade or Schwab. Well, Schwab's a little different now, but E-Trade or Robinhood where they're just doing executions. That's a broker-dealer. Okay. Hope that helps, Lacey. Thomas, that's awesome. I love it. Okay. Are you done? Yeah, I'm trying to do as many exams as I can, but like everyone keeps asking about the 66. I'm trying to, but I need permission because it's, I mean, yes, it's called a fair use doctrine where I could use some of the stuff, but like Achievable, they're letting me do it. I try not to put ads on that videos, so I try not to. But Achievable likes me doing it. They don't mind. STC doesn't mind, but they haven't okayed the 66 yet because it's a new person in there. But I'm working on it. I'm hoping I have a 66 one out. I'll do the 6 soon. I'm working on it. It's a new kind of test. I'm getting there. Okay. How do I improve my stamina durability when taking these exams? I feel my brain getting drained. Okay, Caleb had it right. What I tell everyone. Georgiana, I will get to the oversold stuff. I'm sorry, I'm so far behind. And KM, I will get to you. KP, right? Okay. As I told everyone, get the timing down, and then what you do is every time you take a test, every 40 questions, take a break. As long as it's not taking you over an hour to do the 40 questions, your timing will be fine. You should be doing about 45, 50, I think 45 questions an hour works out. So if you're above 45 questions an hour, go take a break, get up, get a drink of water. I know they check in and out, but it does change your mindset a little bit. It really does make it seem like you're taking 3 40-question tests versus a 135 questions. It's just what I do. It's the only thing. And then just take a lot of tests. Also, if you're going to be, we obviously are heading back into another world of almost quarantine. If you're, make sure that you practice at least once every few days to do a test with a mask on. Just practice it so it's not a first-time shot for you. Okay. KP. Okay. So KP, the question is, I don't know how you're studying. Yeah, you can go. I don't want you to keep spending money, but if you go to Past Perfect, if you go to so if you have STC and you have Achievable and you're watching my videos and the other videos and stuff like that, maybe go to Past Perfect. Maybe buy questions from Kaplan. Maybe hire a tutor. I'm not saying me. I'm not pushing for me. There's other Michael's out there. Brandon's out there. There's other tutors out there that can help you too if you need it. Maybe pay for a class. Maybe pay for the STC class. It can't hurt. And use the instructor. They have an instructor hotline. Freaking use it. I mean, I don't think they limit how many times you can call, so just do it. Okay. Yeah. Bathsheba, I'm not a huge fan of ExamFX, but if you're taking the SIE and the 6, you can probably get through. Okay. KP, yeah, again. So tell me how you were studying. So what I'm going to say is, if you failed today, okay, make it hurt. Write everything you can about. So now I'm going to tell you how you should get through this. Write down everything about the exam you can remember now. As soon as we're done here and you're done listening to my rambling, write down everything in your phone. Write down everything. Put it away for 2 days. Today's Tuesday. So take off Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday, go back to the book and just start reading like it's brand new. Even if you do start with Achievable, start from the beginning like you've never studied before, and just go through. Read the book. You'll be amazed at how many things that you saw in the exam that were that you'll see when you reread it. You're like, oh, I missed that. So I would say reread the book again, and then keep coming on here, and we'll try to help you out. Okay, yeah, Bathsheba, I'm not a huge fan of ExamFX, but if you're smart and you can do it, you can probably use it, but I don't think they cover enough. Okay. Now, Georgiana, finally got to overbought, oversold. I apologize it took this long. Oh, so there's an advanced decline ratio. So advanced decline ratio, if you ever watch CNBC, you have the big heat map where it shows all the stocks on the stock exchange. And they're either green or red. Green means up, red means down. It doesn't mean how much they're up or down, but it just means up or down. So if you see, like in a market, if you see a lot of green, it's up, and there's a lot of green, that might be overbought, which means there's too much on the buy side. People bought too much, so it's going to start coming down. Like it's kind of like it swings too fast. Like if you do a pendulum and you swing it far to the right, it's going to come back just as hard. But if you do a little bit to the right, it won't come back as hard. So overbought means it's the stock or the portfolio or the index is went up too fast, and it's not strong, so it's going to start dropping. Oversold is the opposite. They went down too fast, or it's not real strong, or it's too much down, because everything's in up and down. It's like everything's in cycles. So if something goes down, it'll eventually go up. Something goes up, it'll eventually come down. I mean, that's the theory. Not everything does that. But as far as the market goes, if it goes up hard, it's going to come in a little bit and then go up again. It does trend up, but the point is overbought means it's too high, and it's probably going to come in a little bit. And oversold means it's too low, too much, and it's going to come up it's going to bounce up. Hope that helps, Georgiana. It's sort of a tech. That's not fundamental. That's technical trading. Okay. The real DJ Craig. Yeah, I like Achievable. I really like them. I like their questions. I like everything about them. Okay. Okay. There you go. Okay. So yeah, Caleb, you said it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Test Geek stuff is pretty good, KP. Just don't even sweat this shit. Just get on it. Okay. Okay. So Melby's, yeah, that's fine. Here's the thing about Past Perfect Melby's. I like them. Okay. And Stefan, I will get to them. I do like Past Perfect. I think they go too deep. Like their option stuff, when you get to their options or their math, like they want you to calculate yield to maturity, which no one has ever done. Okay. Yield to call, yield to maturity there's nobody will ever have to figure that math out. You won't. And then in my mind, they think that it's, their response is that we think it gets you ready. But I think Past Perfect tries to prove how smart they are. But the thing is, if you're passing their exams, you should be fine. Because if you're passing their exams, you know this shit on such a deep level that it's solid. Like, let me explain it this way. I've taken the exam, the 7 and the 66 or that. On the last 2 times I took it, I got 1 wrong on the 7. I got 1 wrong on the 6, 2 wrong on the 66. I'm not bragging. I should do that. I've never scored above higher than in mid-80s on Past Perfect or Kaplan. I don't. Because sometimes you don't even know what they're doing. They're hiding the ball. And I don't like that. I hate when vendors kind of like, well, we expect you to understand this when we ask you a question. They kind of make it confusing on purpose. Not a big fan of that. I'm almost catching up. I'm only 14 minutes behind. Okay. Wow. Okay. Tans, trans, rands. Okay. Melby's, thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Tans, rands. So muni notes, like I always explain it this way. So muni notes, there's muni bonds, which are geos and revenues long term. Muni notes are like the money market version of munis. They're very short term. So like if we need money, like I just explain it this way. Do you know how much it costs to pick up snow in New York City? Well, hopefully now, none. But if it snows, it costs $2 million per inch. So for every inch that drops in snow on New York City, it costs $2 million. Well, maybe they don't have it in January. It's like 2 feet of snow. We owe $50 million to pick up the snow. Maybe we don't have it. So we go, wait a second. People are paying their taxes in April. Or we have all this subway revenue coming in. So what we're going to do is issue a TAN or a RAN or a TRAN. A TAN is a tax anticipation note. We issue a muni note now, and it gets paid off when people pay their taxes in April. We know that. Or a RAN is a revenue anticipation note where we issue a small note now, small one now in January when they need it. And then when in the subway or the tolls revenue comes in, it'll pay off the RANs. Only TANs, RANs, and TRANs, TRAN, a TRAN, is a tax and revenue anticipation note. It's both taxes and revenue. Those are the only 3 things that can help a budget, like a budget shortfall. GANs, BANs can't be used for that. GANs are like if we have a grant coming from the government, we issue a muni note now, and then when the grant pays from the government, it pays it off. A BAN, we issue it now, and then when we finally issue a geo bond, it'll pay it off. Okay? Short term. Big thing is, yeah, I love Achievable, guys. Ginger, I agree. And I know you're probably like, what are you talking about? It's only 20 minutes ago you said it. But yeah, okay. Justin, the SIE, no, that's funny, Justin. The SIE and the 66 should help you get a job. There's no guarantee of anything. Okay. On regulations, how much time should I spend on regulations? By the way, I hope that helped, Stefan. How much time should I spend on regulations? You should know. They should be on there. Remember, don't memorize the rule numbers. Know what they mean. Like my MSRB rules, you do not need, okay? You do not need to know every AG rule. You need to know what they all mean. I wouldn't go crazy on the regs, but I would make sure I'm comfortable with them. Okay. Peter. Any recommendation for the 63? Read the book 2 times. Do a lot of fucking questions, okay? Get a lot of questions under your belt. Just do question again. This is the one exam, well, other than the series 3, that once you read the book once or twice, just start taking tests and tests and tests. But remember, when you take a test, you don't just go through the motions. You have to do it, and when you get it right, you see why, and when you get it wrong, you see why. So basically, you're going to do the test. You have 65 questions. finish it out, and then go over every single question, right or wrong, and see why you got it right and why you got it wrong. Nothing you can, that's the best way. And you'll never feel great about the 63, and you'll find it'll be okay. Okay. Right. I agree. Caleb, exactly right. If you have the SIE and the 66, it shows attitude. It shows that you're going out of your way to get it. I'm telling all the high school kids, and not high school, but all college kids, get the SIE out of the way while you can. So this way, when you're interning, you have it already. Maybe they'll sponsor you for the 7. And guys, anyone who's still in college or going back there, Riley, awesome. I thank you. I'm trying to be somewhat real, right? I mean, I curse. I'm not but like my kids get me because I'm not so proper. I do this. I wear a tie. It's just not me. And I don't. If you want someone who's narrative based and longer and slower, there's a million other places to go. Again, yeah, I think that works. Guys, if you know anyone in college doing it, please send it to your old business school professor. Tell them to take a look and send it to their students. All I'm asking is you send this shit out there. I'm not asking for any money from you guys. Okay. Enough. Okay. Going through bonds right now, reviewing corporates and governments. I haven't been scheduled to take a test for the 7. Awesome. I love that you're ahead of everyone on the test. I know you told me that you're a few days ahead of everyone on the studying, which is great. You always want to be ahead, so this way you have a little cushion. Okay. So KP, if you've seen this, scroll up and look for Caleb's email. And if you can't, KP, if you can't find Caleb's email, send me an email, and then I'll reach out to him. Okay. Jacob. Okay. Oh, that's funny. So no, the 3. So when you're done with the 66, the 3 is probably a 3 or 4 week test. A 3 or 4 week, 3 or 4 week study if you go hard, because it's a lot. If you're okay with options, it's not that hard. The hardest part. Oh, by the way, I'm going to tell you. If you're anyone here taking the 3, the only vendor to use is STC for that one, because they set up the problems the way I do it, and it is so much freaking easier. 99% of you aren't taking the 3, but anyone who is, use STC. Do not use Kaplan or Notman. They're just freaking horrible. Okay. Hey, I'm almost catching up. I'm only 8 minutes behind now. Okay. Yeah. Armana, did I ever send you the big doc that I found on Reddit? If not, shoot me an email or text and I'll send it to you. Okay. Okay. Georgiana, great question. Okay. So riskless and simultaneous, they call it. So riskless and simultaneous is really what we call riskless principle. So do we know what principle is? Okay. So if we know what principle is, that's where the broker-dealer uses their own inventory to buy or sell. But while they own the inventory, there's risk that the prices go up and down and they may lose money or make money, whatever. But riskless principle is basically using principle, but you don't buy the shares until you get the order. So let's say the stock's trading at $50 and you get an order to buy 100 shares. What you're going to do is you're going to go buy it at 50 in your own inventory and then turn around and sell it to your customer at 50-50. So $50 you're going to sell to, so you buy it at 50, that's what goes on the tape. Then you sell it to them at $50.50 with a markup, okay? Okay, which is a markup, okay? And you're going to charge that markup of 50 cents, and that's disclosed. Remember, only one trade shows up on the tape. Only when you bought it. The second one where you sell it to your customer with the markup doesn't show up. Now, I am going to add on to this, okay? There's a thing called a net basis trade, which is very similar. You're using your inventory, but you're not telling the customer what price you bought or sold at, okay? So riskless principle is, I give you an order, you buy it, you turn around and sell it to me with a little bit of a markup. Kind of like when you go to a restaurant and you buy a bottle of wine. Yeah, they bought it for $10 and they're selling to you at 30. That's their markup, okay? So here, a net basis is very similar. I get the order from you. I could actually have the position, but if you call up and say, I want to buy 100 shares, I'm just going to say, yeah, I sold them to you at $50.50 net. I'm not telling you the markup or anything. So that's risky, that you could be a risk that I lie to you. So if it's a retail customer, I have to get permission to do a net basis trade every time I do the trade before that. If you're an institution, I can either get permission every time, or I can get a blanket okay with it, what they call a negative consent letter when they open the account. Negative consent means I send you the what is it going to say? I send you the I lost track because I was reading this. See what happens when you get old? Don't do drugs, kids. So a negative consent letter is when you open the account, I send the letter to you and say, listen, we do net basis trades. If you have a problem with it, let me know. If you don't say anything, you're consenting. Negative consent. Okay. I think I caught up. Look at that. I caught up with everyone. Yeah, there's also only 20 people on here now. There's up to 30 before. They probably all left because I was cursing. Okay. Not bad. Not too bad, fellas. Did I not? Hold on. Did I miss one? Oh, no. Okay. Not so bad. Okay. I'm glad that helps. Okay. And Caleb's helping too. I love that. Okay. Thank you it's funny. I wonder why that blocks that out. Yeah, guys, please like this stuff, subscribe. The bigger thing I can do is tell people. And I'm going to have my rant out. Please don't judge me too much because it was kind of a rant, but it's based on a post I did like 3 years ago and I updated it. And don't judge me on that. And then I'm going to put out this resources one. I'm going to start it tonight. I should have it up by Thursday or Friday. And then I go back to doing the Series 7 book, working through the 6 and the 7 at the same time. Guys, thank you very much. Wash your hands. Look, it's no bookcase behind me today because I'm in the kitchen because my wife's in the city. I am few weeks away. Was I banged? A few weeks away from being a grandfather. Deuce. Okay, everyone, have a good night. Awesome. I love that. Thank you, Stefan. Just keep telling your bosses, tell your managers, tell the people who set up the test that it's here and it's free. That's all we care about. Okay, everyone. Have a good night. Wash your hands. And if Greg was on here, he'd say, oh, the Crystal Light. It's right here. I got it. I have not had a fucking soda since September. It's almost a year. I used to do 13 to 14 Diet Cokes a day, and now I'm only doing this. Anyway, you all have a good night, and I'll see you on Thursday.